Stickiness at the ends is the idea in which people raised in lower or higher income positions are more likely to stay in those positions as they become adults. There are various factors that play into this. Croak says that one of the resources children need to become successful and engaged adults come from, first and foremost, from their families. And also having more education does not just mean more money, but it also means more non-monetary resources. This means that if one's family has the wealth and time to be able to nurture their children, whether that means spending more time with them, or having their children go to better schools, or participating in extracurricular activities, these children will have a higher chance of succeeding than their peers. On the contrary, however, children that don't have these resources will find it more difficult to move up economically. Now, here's the anecdote from Nhat's life.
I am an example of stickiness at the end, because if this is the social class hierarchy, I would be here, which is one of the end. It is not the good end, but it is an end. Let me tell you why I am on this side. You see, long ago, my family and we came to America. Why? I am really not sure. It was my parents' idea, and I didn't have an opinion then. When we came here, we didn't know how to speak English at all. My brother and I picked up on the language fairly quickly though, because we're cool like that. But my parents, to this day, can't speak English, which put them at a disadvantage. The jobs they can get are very limited and they don't get paid very well. And so this put us on the bad end. But just by being at one of the end, it is hard to get out, and people want to get out at the end. People on the bad end at least. Because if you are on the good end, then I don't see why you would want to get out, because you're balling. So why is it hard for my family and maybe other people to get out the bad end? There is a couple of disadvantages that we have the middle and upper class don't. My parents, because they work for us, they have to work more, to keep up with the bills. And so they don't have time to take care of us, my brother and I. When I started working last year, there would be weeks where I don't see my parents, my brother, basically my entire family. They were busy and I was busy, and I don't get home until late, until everyone is sleeping. To me, a parents/family's nurture is important for a person to rise up and be successful. But for me, I feel like I am on my own most of the time. I personally never asked my parents for help. Okay, that was a lie. I have tried before, a while back, but it's really just me trying to explain the question to them and leaving them puzzling about what to do or about my translation. My parents, they do try to help, they do want me to be successful, and they do want me to do stuff. But ultimately, what I want to do, anything that I am interested in, I am basically on my own. I have to go out there and figure it out for myself. Comparing to high class family, parents can do a lot more for the kids. They have more funding, so the kid can get into better programs, better clubs. They have better connection, which makes it easier for their kids to get into the program or the club, and they get more time with the kid. Being at the end is a disadvantage, but there are also advantages as well. For example, we have FAFSA and WASFA to help pay for school. There are also scholarships geared toward lower class income. We do have disadvantage, but it is possible to get to the other side if we use all of our advantage. We may not be balling on the other side, but we can definitely make it out of the end.
On the flip side, however, here's an anecdote of my mom's life where she defies the idea of stickiness at the ends. My mom grew up during the Cultural Revolution in China, where the wealthy and educated were discriminated against. My mom's family was no exception. They were stripped of their wealth and were sent to work in a rural village. Though this is an extreme example, this is a situation in which a family or someone can go from being in the top percentile of income to being in the bottom percentile. Later, her family was able to move to Boston in the US with the help of a family member. However, when they reached Boston, they were dirt poor and spoke no English. Because they couldn't speak English, it was very hard for any of them to find jobs or even communicate with others. But they did anything they could to save money, and they used food stamps to get by. My mom didn't live in the best neighborhood and went to a poor high school. However, even there, she worked hard and was the top student in that school. In addition to this, she worked a part-time job in a factory that made Pac-Man machines, making only a few dollars an hour. In addition, she also self-studied the SAT despite barely understanding the problems. Even when she tried to look up definitions in the dictionary, because she couldn't speak English very well, she couldn't even understand the definitions of the words because the words in the definition were too difficult. Eventually, this hard work paid off and she got a full scholarship to Boston University, where she also went for graduate school. My mom told me before that had she not gotten a full scholarship, she wouldn't have been able to go to college because her family couldn't afford it. Over the course of her business career, she continued to work very hard and slowly climbed in position. And today, she is the vice president of a pretty big corporation. With the income she makes, it puts our family in the top percentile. When she came to the US as a teenager, she had so many factors against her, preventing her from climbing out of poverty. Yet against these odds, and through both hard work and luck, she defied stickiness at the ends. And now, I'm experiencing the positive effects of stickiness at the ends. I grew up in a good neighborhood, went to a great high school, and because my parents had money, I was able to participate in various extracurricular activities. And also, because of my mom's position, she has a very big network and knows many people. This is beneficial in that because my mom knew a software architect at a local startup, I was able to intern at that company over the summer. These are opportunities I wouldn't have had if my parents weren't both where they were today. And though I can't say for certain, but the support I have received has made me more likely to do better in life than someone who hasn't received these opportunities. This is another example of stickiness at the ends.
Stickiness at the end is not a be-all, end-all. Just because someone is currently in a bad place financially doesn't mean that they will never be rich. Moreover, just because someone is balling right now doesn't mean that they will never get poor. So, those of you who are doing bad financially, keep looking up, and those of you who are doing good, you never know what could happen.